Welcome guys, this is Edwin and today we have a beauty for you guys to take a look. This is a prototype from Ernest Emerson, and in this case I do have the description from Ernest Emerson himself, so we'll go through that and then we'll do some comparisons. Okay, now in this case the title is the Commander Vintage Run Marked Prototype. Here is a real gem and it's a Commander. Now don't get me wrong, this is not the first Commander I ever built. This is the prototype for a run when we decided to commemorate the Commander design by doing a run of old school vintage style knives. You will notice that this is a hand-ground blade and a retro remake of the original Commander. He's talking about that 98 style version that are so coveted by collector. Nonetheless, it's an absolutely perfect condition knife and it's a hand-ground, handmade vintage Commander prototype that can be used, collected, or both. The choice is yours, and that's super cool. And guys, if you don't remember, back in 2018 Emerson Knife did a run of the vintage Commander to commemorate the 20 years right of that design, and this is the prototype for that, and it's a beauty, guys. Okay, now if you don't know why you will need a prototype for running something like this, well, it's pretty simple. You know, they have your classic production Commander, and when you compare the lockup, the stop pin, and all that is very different than the one in the 98. So what they did is that they kept that stop pin and all that, that modern take, right, on the Commander, the lockup and all that, right? They kept all those modern changes, but they wanted to make sure that they do that old school look of the hardware in the middle and that switch, more pronounced switch in that blade. Let me show you that real quick. We'll do some comparisons with a 98 Commander that I have in my collection, but you can see a beautiful hand ground switch right there that you can see like the 98s, a beautiful recurve. And guys, I love recurve. I have no problems, okay? No problems with my recurves. Just, you know, make sure you have a diamond rod and you just drop the heck out of it. It's super easy to maintain, no problem. Now, in terms of stamps, you will see that Emerson Knife USA right there, and then that prototype below that thumb stud. Okay, and you can see that smaller, I think this is like very similar to the 98, that smaller thumb wave I should say. Now in terms of grind, you will see that these have that V grind, meaning that it's ground on that side and ground on the other side. Beautiful, beautiful done right here. And one thing, guys, this is sharp as hell. This is, you look at that chisel edge, it's almost non-existent. It's like they went all the way right there. It's just very, very, very sharp. Really, really nice. And given you have that vintage look of the hardware in the middle, right? That back spacer of G10, and same thing on the other side, just like the 98, right? And that's basically what we are talking here. It's a commemoration on this baby right here, the Commander 98. And one thing that you need to know is that even that have that vintage look, notice, right, the lockup is different, right, between these two, and even that stopping on the back is different between these two. And that's why you need a prototype to be able to make sure that your machinery can pull it off, okay? And that's basically the main reason for that. But again, it's that 20-year anniversary that in the production environment, this guy were made with a medallion in the middle, and the steel on that blade was S35VN. I'm not sure about this one. I'll probably need to ask Emerson about it in an email or something like that. I'll probably do that in the future. But guys, a beautiful piece for any collector, and it's a sharp as hell Commander, man. That switch right there is beautiful. I love how they did it. And again, it's a great piece to have. And guys, if you have any question, feel free to jump in, of course, in YouTube comment, in my Instagram, okay? I'm always there hanging out. And of course, in caloblades.com, I do have all the links on the recommendation of the main groups that I'm always hanging out. You guys have a great day out there. Bye.